Oh, eh, 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 oh. I say Liverpool, we there. Every game we there. From on field to everywhere. Premier League, we say. All the rest is the only way. For me, for you. We chat football, eh. We chat football, eh. Liverpool, we there. Oh, Premier League, we there. Salah Joe, Mane Joe, Van Dijk them there. Alisson for goal. Premier League, we say. All the rest is the only way. For me, for you. We chat football, eh. We chat football, eh. Liverpool, we there. Premier League, we there.
Welcome to We Chat Football, a channel where we chat football, and today we're dropping a new show, new look, and everything. This one is called the Liverpool Show, where it's just going to be mainly Liverpool focus on this one. Not going to be one of those where we just talk about other clubs, but mainly Liverpool. Where do we start? Yeah, we start 5 out of 5. That's where we start. We start that we have won 5 out of 5 in the Prem, and also we have won our game in Europe. Now, remember, guys, like the video once you join. Just give it a like. Drop a comment if you want to say something, yes or no. Completely up to you. But yeah, just give it a like. It helps. It helps to get the stuff out there. So yeah, that's it. Yeah. So Liverpool game this weekend. Let me just kick it off right now. It's it's a good balance. It's a good show from Slot that he can actually mix things up a bit. To be fair, he's not scared to change. He's not scared to go back to what he's used to just to get the best out of the team. And that's exactly what he did, bringing back the midfield that worked last season, take Florian Wirtz out of the firing line. And I have no problem with that. If he can continue to do that, to allow Florian to get adjusted to life in England, get adjusted to life in the Prem, and then kick on from there, then that would be great. That would make it a lot better for the player himself rather than pushing him in the spotlight so early. We already get it. He's already getting judged that he's a $100 million player that can't hack it, pretty much. That's pretty much what the narrative is around Florian. But we know that that was gonna come due to the fact that our fan base did the same to Caicedo once he moved to Chelsea, and then outside of that, Declan Rice, the whole thing, the whole 100 million signings. It's what it is. You go over a certain threshold, you're gonna get judged a certain ways. Now, the game for the weekend is one of them where I look at it and be like, okay, I can see that Liverpool is improving comparing to the games that we played earlier this season, which is we're playing a lot better. The passes, even though it's not for the whole game, it's for a short period of the game, but we can see where our passes are coming off better. Everything is looking up for Liverpool. So therefore, you know what? There's a lot of positive to take out of this, not just from the fact that we won, but also from the performances. Would I like the performances to be more consistent over a longer period of the game? Yes. I would like for it to be more consistent, but on the other hand, again, it's still early in the season, and it's good to see that what we're doing right now is actually pushing the teams around us, getting the points, slowly getting the build up. Yes, there's still a few plays that I'm thinking, you know what? If we had made this pass, if we made that pass, we could have finished off Everton a lot earlier. Could have scored a few more goals, depending on the passes and depending on how we go about it. But yeah, that is going to be coming in future games because as I said, it's early part of the season, and I am seeing the improvements where I expect to see the improvement in game week 5. So that's not what I'm too worried about. Seeing he put the lights of Verts playing out left is kind of a change as well, to give Verts that opportunity to stay out wide, drift in, more like the Coutinho role that Coutinho had when he was at Liverpool, where he was a number 10, but he started out left and then start drift right in the middle of the park to pick up that number 10 role. So he would be on mark coming in rather than being in the center of the field and trying to navigate through there. So yeah, that was interesting in that game as well. It's a derby. I just think we navigated that game like champions should. We went up 2 goals early, which is a bonus. We don't continue pushing, pushing, pushing. We just kind of try to control the game as much as possible. The midfield starting to tire that we could see. The changes, I think Slot wanted to make the changes earlier, but the goal came before the players could come on the field because you could see that they were warmed up, ready to come on. So Slot saw that they were tiring, saw that he wanted to make the change. So he went out, tried to make the change, but it was just a little bit too late because everybody was everybody was warmed up, stripped off, ready to go. But yeah, the changes came a little bit late. After that, the midfield made a change. They come in, they control the game. That's what I saw. I saw Liverpool come in, controlling the game after the changes were made. Was it gonna be tough test against Everton? Yes, it's always going to be a tough test against Everton because we're talking about a rival here, a local rival. So it's always going to be a tough test. Was I worried going into the game? Not worried that we would lose. I was just worried that we might end up with a draw against Everton this game, and coming up with 3 points is all that matters. And again, it's all that matters from this point of the season going forward is the 3 points. The style of play is getting better. Players are getting used to what should I say now? Used to how everybody's playing. That's something important that we have to take a look at as well. That the players are getting used to how everyone is playing. The other thing is it's kind of the first game so far of the season where we have almost all our best players on the field. The best starting 11 possible is on the field right at this point. Eketike and Isak up front, they're going to be a point where we have to figure out how to get both of them in the team because, again, even though we want to see Isak, Eketike is putting the ball in the back of the net. And while he's doing so, I think that he should keep his spot until further notice. But again, as I said, we have the likes of Isak, and Isak is going to come in, and Isak is expected to do things at Liverpool. So we see how that one turns out and how that one works. But yeah, it's a good performance over the weekend. The Champions League game again started off quickly. We got pegged back, and it's not the fact that we got pegged back because we weren't playing well. We got pegged back because we fail to convert our chances because we have a lot of chances in that game that we could have gone 2, 3, 4 up before Atleti scored their first goal. And then that would be bedtime, and then it wouldn't look like a last minute winner from Liverpool. It would just look like cruise control. But that's again early stages. You will find that in parts of the game. Salah himself is getting more and more into games, so that's another good thing that we're seeing more and more of Salah getting into games throughout as the season progresses because he is starting to learn to play with these new players. We brought in like 8, so that's going to take a time. It's going to take time for Verts to start linking up with Eketike and Salah. But I think Slot realized that it's kind of hard to play Eketike and Verts in the same team together because, again, as a lot of Liverpool fans point out, and we all see, is that they kind of run in each other's way. So that's something that I think Slot might just use Verts when he's using Isak because that's somewhat of a better combination than Eketike. But again, Eketike starts on fire. Eketike looks like the striker that we might have not needed Isak. But again, I am not crapping on that one as yet. I am just waiting, see how it goes, and then push. We just have to push. We just have to keep pushing forward. We just have to keep winning our games. We are 5 points up in Arsenal so far this season, and 8 up on City or something like that. Yeah, so we just have to keep pushing. We just have to do what we have to do and see if we can get this league wrapped up pretty early, right? I don't think we're going to go invincible. I don't. But if we do it, that would be amazing. because I just feel like there's going to be games where we have to rotate a lot due to the fact that there might be three big games lined up where we have a team from in the top six Champions League and then another team from in the top six, and then we have to rotate. We might get over those games, we might not. But yeah, that's something that we have to see. And again, so far this season, I am not complaining about the start. 5 out of 5. Does it look shaky in some games? Yes, it does. Does Liverpool offer teams a chance back in a lot of the games that we play? Yes. It's not that the teams we have been outplayed. We've been outplayed, I think, one game so far this season, and that's a game against Newcastle at St James Park, and we know the emotions going into that game where even we were like crying to our players online, which I don't know if they hear, but anyways, we're just saying try not to go into that game with the emotions in that game. Try to go into that game by just enjoying the game, play the game, not the occasions. And yeah, we went in, we got what we needed to get out of that game, and that's perfect. We get 3 points out of the game, and we keep it moving. Newcastle has to come to Anfield. We expect to get 3 more points out of that, and we have to go to Arsenal, and I just expect us go for a win. If we lose, we lose, but go for a win. And I don't think by the time we get to Arsenal game, it will be. I think it might be similar to last season, where by the time we get to them, there's such a gap that the pressure is on them to come out and play. And I think that's what's happening to Arsenal right now as well. Is that there's a gap. Liverpool has a gap. Arsenal has to come out and play, and that might be into our favor that they're playing under pressure. But yeah, our next game coming up is gonna be against oh crap, I looked at that this morning. Um who do we have next? Let me double check that because I looked at that this morning. I was so ready for that. I know I'm messing that up. So match week 6. Yeah. So the next game we have coming up is away at Crystal Palace, which has been a tough ground for most people to go to. It's been a tough ground for us to go to. In the last couple of years, it's been tight games. We lost to them last season, I think, and then we lose to them in the Community Shield. So we see how that one goes. If we can go there, make it 6 out of 6, or whatever. I'm at this point in the season, I'm just calm. I'm not overly stressed. I'm not too worried about much. I'm just calm from this point of the season. But yeah, we're going to Crystal Palace on Saturday 7. See how that works. See if we can get something out of that game. We have to push. We have to push because Arsenal is going to Newcastle, so we have to make sure that we keep on extending that gap as well. As I said, I'm calm about it, but because I trust the players, I trust the manager, and I trust the squad that they can get us over the line. So going to Crystal Palace, I am calm. I expect it. I expect 3 points anyway. Anyhow, don't care. I expect 3 points because again, as I said, it's a lot of people point to it and said it's not sustainable, but 6 games, 6 win. That seems pretty sustainable to me. So going at a tough ground like Crystal Palace is one of them where I expect to go to and pick up 3 points. Will it be as tough as Burnley? Yeah, it's gonna be as tough as Burnley. But with match week 6, I expect the players to be getting to know each other a little bit better, gelling a little bit better, so therefore they can break down this low block a lot better. So yeah, so that's the thing. And midweek we have a League Cup game playing. I think yeah, we have a League Cup coming up this weekend, so I'm going to see a lot of rotation in that game. For Tuesday, I think yeah, we have. Let's see, who do we have tomorrow? Southampton. Yeah, so we have Southampton in the championship tomorrow. We expect a lot of rotation. I expect a lot of rotation coming out of the game from the game tomorrow, because again we have to go to Crystal Palace over the weekend and we need to use this squad. And if we make the rotation, give players rest, and we get knocked out to Southampton, then this shows that these players aren't good enough to get us over their line, which are the fringe players. Because these are the games that the fringe players have to step in, and be able to get us over the line. So yeah, it's gonna be a big test for the players on the weekend to see. not on the weekend, sorry, on Tuesday and the weekend to see how we progress because we can't get knocked out of the League Cup this early. I need the League Cup this season. I need the League Cup. I need the title. I need the FA Cup, and I need the Champions League. We spend big, so you can't do a double without a League Cup. Well, you can, but I wouldn't suggest that it would be good enough. I think we need a League Cup because I want to do something unprecedented this season. So I want, like when fans look back at this Liverpool squad, they're looking at it as one of the greatest Liverpool teams of all times, or the greatest English team of all time, not just Liverpool, but the greatest English team of all time. And the only way people will look back at a team and said this team is the greatest of all time is doing something unprecedented. And the only thing left to do that's unprecedented that no other team has done before is win the quad. We can if we do the treble, Arsenal can say they do I mean, if we do the treble, you have City, United that have done the treble. If we go invincible, Arsenal will say that, oh, we did it first. Do the treble and invincible. Yeah, but I would have the same asterisk that I have over what do you call it now? Arsenal invincible, where I would be like, listen, I would rather lose a game in the Prem or two games in the Prem to make sure that we win whichever cup competition that we get knocked out of. Because again, at the end of the day, everything comes down to trophies. How much trophies do you win in a season? And for me personally, this is the reason why I want to go in and I want to go in and win as much game as possible, keep the squad rotated as best as possible. So therefore we can get the best out of the team right throughout the season. So a slow start to the season for me is not concerning. A lot of people said it's unsustainable. They can believe whatever they want to believe. I just look at this as one of them where I'm like, you know what? Throughout the rest of the season, we can build up momentum. We can go the full way this season. We can take on all these competition, try to win them as much as possible. And that's where my head is at right now. My head is Tuesday. We should go into the game on Tuesday. We should be able to beat Southampton because again, our team is better than Southampton, so we should be able to go into that, win that game, go to Crystal Palace, pick up more points from there, and just keep it and keep pushing. We need to get back into the finals of the League Cup again. We were there last season. We need to get back again. And the only step further than the final of the League Cup is actually winning it. So if we can get that League Cup win early in the season, while we have a point gap at the top of the league, we won't see that fall off from Liverpool as what we said in last season. Because last season there was a fall off at a certain point. The only difference is the likes of Arsenal did not capitalize on that fall off. So we fell off, but no other team capitalized on it. So therefore, we're able to pick ourselves back up again and push to the end of the season. Other thing is the Champions League. I need to go one step further than where I go last season. Not even one step, but a lot more steps because we got knocked out against PSG. And I do believe that if we had gotten past PSG, we could have gotten all the way to the finals as well. Because I just didn't see any other team that was in and around that we couldn't beat to get to the finals. We have a better squad this season than last season. We have better players this season than last season. A lot of the players have yet to prove that they are better than the ones last season because the ones last season have silverware on the table. So this is for this team now to go out and prove that. Good start to the Prem. We need to get into the finals of the League Cup. We need to get into the finals of the FA Cup. We need to get into the finals of the Champions League. We need to be looking at this season as fondly as how we look at the season with Liverpool, where we almost won, with Jurgen Klopp, where we almost won the quad, where we were just 2 games away from the quad. And I know, like, we got pushed right to the wire from Manchester City. If it was Manchester City, I think would have done maybe a domestic treble. And if it wasn't for Courtois heroics in the finals against Real Madrid, we could be looking at, again, one of the greatest seasons. We were this close to do it. So therefore, we can go back again, do it again. And that's it. Virgil was there during that time. Alisson was there during that time. Salah was there during that time when we were pushing. And Robertson was there during that time when we were pushing really close that team to doing the quad. So, and I feel like Slot is more of a controlled manager. So I don't feel like the team will be burnt out by the time they reach that end of the season. And if we're that close, I believe the players and the manager can get it over the line, because what we have in our team is winners, and winners win. And if we're able to do something unprecedented this season, amazing. One of the greatest seasons ever. And that's what I want to experience as a Liverpool fan. So maybe you can look at it and be like, yes, I'm asking for too much. But I mean, with breaking the transfer record twice in one window, that's kind of what is expected. If I believe in the manager, which I do, that he can get it over the line, then I expect that from him as well. To push, try to get us over the line, and but we're going to take it one step at a time, not going all crazy. Like if we lose a game, then everything is all falling apart and that kind of stuff. Because again, nobody expects us to be undefeated this season. I don't expect an invincible season, so I'm not going to lose my head over losing a game, because I know that the rivals will lose a game as well. It's not just me that's going to be losing a game; rivals will be losing a game. It's just the point that when rivals drop points, I have to capitalize. That's just it. And if I have a point buffer, then I just have to make sure that if I drop points this week, I can't drop points next week again. We just have to pick up and keep going. So yeah, we can't drop back points back to back in back to back games. And I like the mentality of how the manager goes look at it, because 1 point, two draws over two games is 2 points. I lose, lost, and a win over two games is three. So you still accumulate more points. So I do appreciate the fact that the manager is willing to take risk, to go out there, to push, to try to get the team ready, the team winning, willing to sacrifice no points for three. And again, people might look at me like that's not sustainable. Sometimes it's just best you take a point and leave. Sometimes it's best you just go for the 3 points. That's it. What's the point of trying to play for a point? We see again, we see yesterday with City and Arsenal. If I know Pep was kind of trying not to get Haaland injured, but if Haaland had stayed on the pitch for another 10 more minutes, that game would have been two, because Doku went through and crossed the ball, and Bernardo Silva seemed going down the side of the field, and Bernardo Silva sat on the edge of the box. Watch him instead of trying to gamble going into the box. Haaland would have gambled going into the box. That could have been 2-0, could have been game over. City could have picked up 3 points. So, yeah. But anyway, City was playing for holding on for a 1-0 lead. And then right at the end, Arsenal score an equalizing winner. But yes, because that's how they celebrated, like an equalizing winner. But yes, again, enough about that. What I'm just saying is this: we have to go for it. We have to push. We have to demand more from the team, demand more from the players, and also demand from the manager, which I think the players are demanding more from themselves, and the manager is demanding more from the players as well. So I do believe that we can do something unprecedented this season. I know, again, I'm not going over the top with this. I'm just saying we have a squad good enough to do it. Yes, we may be short in one area. I think we're short in like a centre back area, and there's lots of talks around Konate. Is he staying? Is he going? Read reports that Real Madrid is ready in a bid for Konate. I trust the fan. I trust the not the fans. I trust the club. I trust the club with whatever they decide to do with a contract, how they decide to deal with the player's contract, and finding a replacement. So I do believe that if Kanate decided to leave, we can find a replacement for Kanate out there in the market that, as fans, we would not even think about getting, but we would just go out there and get somebody like that, right? We have Mark Guehi coming in, so I don't think that Konate is going to be moving anytime before the end of the season. I don't think even if Real Madrid comes in with money mid-season, we're going to let him go. He's going to have to stay to the end of the contract, run the contract out, because again, what does What does it mean to get money for Konate in January if we're in a title race, if we have the League Cup still going, FA Cup still going, and the Champions League still going? All of these competition combined is valued more than whatever Real Madrid is going to table for Konate right now in the season. So yes, at this point, yeah, no, I would keep Konate. I would keep. I'll try to get him signed up, but if he's not interested in a contract, I'll just let him go on a free. And again, a lot of people are thinking about, yes, these guys have been in for the last couple of years, like 2 seasons now. We see Trent leave on a free. They extend Salah, they extend Van Dijk. We see Konate about to leave on a free. What's going on? And the question is this: like, if we step back for one moment, Konate is a quality defender, very, very quality defender. But under Jurgen Klopp, Konate was injured a lot. Konate did pick up injuries last season, but then came back in. So he is an injury-prone defender. Maybe Slot can get the best out of him and then keep him fit throughout. However, when we're negotiating a deal, we have to remember we're negotiating a deal with an injury-prone defender. We can't put him on big wages to the fact that he might pick up injuries again. And if he does pick up injuries again, then there we are, another defender that we have, another Joe Gomez situation. He's just sitting there and we just look at it and be like, okay, when Konate is fit, we're going to be firing on all cylinders. When Konate is fit, when Konate is fit. And again, this is not me hating on Konate. This is just me saying I can understand where the club is coming from with the contract situation, believing that he's not valued where he may believe that he's valued and his talent is valued. I don't think the question mark is around the talent of the player. I think the question mark is more around the availability of the player and how much he has been available over the last 2 to 3 seasons. And that's just it. That's just my view on the whole Konate situation. But again, it might be resolved in the end. It might not be. Let's see how it looks this season. Let's see if he wants to be a part of something great, or he maybe just feel like he needs to get that bag. And if he wants to get that bag and he wants to go to Real Madrid to get that bag, then go to Real Madrid to get that bag. Again, for me personally, I support Liverpool. I don't care much about what player goes, what player stays, and all that kind of stuff. I support the club. I support the ambition of the club. And if the club isn't showing ambition, that's when I'll come out and criticize the club for not showing ambition. But at the same time, we have to understand we can't just put any and every player on a big contract. Yes, Virgil went and Salah went in and they got big contracts. Yes, we have to pay more to get the next talent in. That is always going to be the case. Always. That's always going to be the case that the next set of talents coming into the club, we would have to pay more money. And we have paid more money for the next set of talents coming in, more wages, all that kind of stuff. Yes, I know. Konate is sitting there looking at it and be like, I need to get more money here. But at the same time, structure your deal better. You could get more money. You should be getting more money. But when you look at it this way, you also have been injured for most of your Liverpool career. We only got like literally one full season. Whether that's down to you, whether that's down to the previous regime, whichever it is, it's just shown that it's like one season. Let's see how the second season works. But at the same time, again, as I said, he's a quality defender. I would love to keep him. I would love for him to stay at the club. This is not me saying Konate is rubbish, get rid of him. I would love to keep Konate at the club. But at the same time, I can understand where the club is coming from, saying that his evaluation is not meeting their evaluation due to these facts that you've only played one season, no injuries, and that's it. But again, I do trust the club to go out there to scout to find a proper replacement for Konate. If it leads that Konate is leaving for Real Madrid, as all the reports are coming out. And again, as I'll say this, if the club continues in the same ambitious way going forward, and we don't have to keep screaming FSG out when they stop spending, because again, let's see how they move next season. This is the first season I've seen them spend this much. on this quality of players. So let's see how they move forward before I can continuously judge going forward. Let's see how they replace Kanate. Let's see who they replace Kanate with. And yeah, that's it, man. That's just it. It's again, most of these early morning shows are like half an hour shows because getting ready for work, I have to start getting ready for work. No, so I just pop in, do these half an hours. Thanks to everybody who watched. Thanks to everybody who hop in, hop out. Again, you can always drop a comment whenever you're in the stream and the stuff and stuff. But catch you tomorrow for the over the top show where we'll be looking at. I don't know. I might talk about the referee situation tomorrow, how bad it is in the Premier League, or I might just talk about football loyalty tomorrow. I think I might go with the football loyalty. The whole Chelsea situation with Raheem Sterling and the whole views of the Mark Guay. We're going to bring that one back up again. And also Isaac and also Wissa, how they reacted getting their move and how Chelsea is treating Raheem Sterling. Yeah, we'll talk about football loyalty tomorrow. I think that's